In today's video, we're doing more front suspension work on the Mustang here. We're going to be swapping out the stock front spindles with the upper control arm adapter for some proper double wishbone front spindles from Mod Squad Garage. Let's go. This thing is gripped up. Welcome back, everybody. 3 years ago, I designed and built my own double wishbone front suspension for the Mustang. At the time, to save costs, I decided to go with using the front stock spindle and then just using an upper control arm adapter from Griggs Racing. So this is one that they've used on many of their kits. Other people have used a similar setup, so nothing truly wrong with it. It just doesn't really have the proper geometry for a double wishbone front suspension, which we'll go over here shortly. So now that we've been running the suspension, we've got it kind of figured out, we got it working really well, it's time to actually step up to a proper spindle. So there's several companies out there that make a front spindle for the double wishbone for the Mustangs or for other cars. Griggs Racing does make a full spindles. Cortex makes spindles, but the one that I decided to go with is the one from Mod Squad Garage. The reason that I went with theirs is reputation. So Mod Squad Garage has an awesome CP Mustang. They've also built several other cars that have ran and have been doing very well in autocross. So I know for autocross, this spindle will do really well. Also cost. So this one is a little bit cheaper than Griggs and Cortex because it is still made out of steel. So it is a little more on the heavy side than I'm sure the aluminum ones from Griggs and Cortex, but it also means that it is much cheaper. It also uses the SN95 front hub, which then will work perfect with the ABS system that I already have on the car, and everything else will just bolt right up and go. Right off the rip, you will notice that this is a drop spindle. So this spindle hub attachment here is much higher than the one on the factory one. It's 1.75 inch drop, so that basically lowers the car without having to change any of the suspension geometry. So that will help and probably hurt us a little bit because we already are running the car a little bit low, so we're probably gonna have to raise the car up. The big changes are on the back side. The upper and lower ball joint attachments are in line. So if we put a rod straight through here, you can see we go straight through and it's able to easily pivot around that. So this one is not. We stick that straight through, we're hitting down there, and we're going through this bottom one, we're outside there. So that means this just was not probably turning in a very good manner. And we'll show on the car that there was some kind of jacking going on. And when you curve this around, I don't know if you can really see, this is kind of spinning around kind of at an angle where this one is then spinning around straight. So it puts a lot of kind of bind going into the control arms. I don't know if this really translates over video too much, but it is taking quite a bit of work to actually get this thing to spin. It's also the kingpin angle of this, since it was basically made for a McPherson strut. I think it's like 14 degrees or somewhere around there. This one, we're at 5 degrees. You can kind of see that this is mostly straight up and down, where if we were straight in this one, it is way more angled. So that meant that we had to run a lot more caster with that one than we will need to run with this one. So with running less caster, we'll be able to have less jacking forces going kind of into the car. So it should steer a lot smoother. We're not going to be trying to basically push the tire into the ground or lifting the car up. The only other changes that I'll need to do for this one is we don't have a pickup point for the wheel speed sensor. So I've been playing around with a new 3D printer that I got and printed up some pieces in here that will basically be able to bolt on a speed sensor right in this area. So this is just for mock-up purposes. We will get this made out of aluminum. I've sent it off to Sen, as you guys know that I love. because they now have a CNC service. So we've made up a CNC thing, sent it to them, and this is getting cut out of aluminum. So then we'll just need to get some holes drilled on the side here, and then we will have our speed sensor mocked up in the perfect location. The other changes that we'll have to do is the brakes. So I was running the Cadillac brakes with the adapters for the SN95 spindle. We can no longer run those with this setup. I've tried to see how that would actually, if I could actually run them, but things want to be in the same location. So the bolts mounting for the calipers basically want to be where these ones are mounting into the side, and that just can't happen. So we are going to have to switch to the wheelwood calipers, which is this is what this one's set up for. And then we'll get everything weighed. I think the brakes will actually come out to be a little bit lighter than my current setup. As far as weight for these are pretty similar. I've already weighed them, and I think they're within like a pound of each other. So we're not going to be losing any weight there with just the spindle, but I am trying to take weights of everything that I can so we can kind of get an idea of how this is going to be different, because there's also some other components that we're going to have to change. Let's start getting this thing mocked up onto the car and figure out what we actually need to change. All right, we got the new spindle in there, and hopefully you can see that spins really easy. So things are actually spinning in line with each other. Some of the other things is I do have an extended ball joint on the top and the bottom. We're also quite a lot of camber right now. I don't remember exactly what we're at, but I think when I measured it earlier, we were at over 5 degrees of negative. So what we will do, because we are pulled all the way in, so that's the max negative camber. I don't want to extend this out a lot, because I think I did some measurements and I would have to extend it out like ½ an inch to be able to get back down to -3. So we're just going to change this control arm. So that was one of the advantages of me going with this arm, is we just pull those bolts, we take it out, we can put a new arm in, which is longer, so we don't have to have a whole bunch of stack up behind it. But otherwise it looks like the lower arm is going to be able to work. I do want to redesign this because I have broken this rod end a couple times now. We have the car sitting under its own weight. It's on the test suspension rod because the shock is still right over there. It's sitting a little bit lower than I would want to, or that I need to, especially when compared to this side. So we need a little bit of room there to be able to not get into the fenders. One of the things that I didn't really realize, like looking at it, is how much the spindle has basically sucked the tire in. So if we look at this side, it's sticking out a little bit, and this side actually has just a hair more camber. So that's interesting. And this side has a longer upper control arm. So I had to put in a longer one. So I had a 7-inch one, and I went to a 7.5 upper control arm on this side. So it actually should have pushed the top out more, but since the spindle design, everything's just sucked in a lot nicer. One of the things that I had to do was to redesign the upper coilover mount. So here is the old mount, and there's the new mount, so you can kind of see how much I've dropped it down to kind of account for the drop spindle that are on these. As I said, unfortunately the Cadillac brakes that I had on the car are not going to work with the new spindles, but luckily over here we got a box of brand new Willwood calipers, hats, rotors down there, all to work with this spindle. So we got some 6-piston super lights. We'll get these pulled out, and I've been weighing everything that's been coming off. So we'll be able to get those and see how they actually compare. Like the SN95 rotor that I had on there, that's 20 pounds. So we'll see how the Willwood setup goes. I think this caliper by itself was 11 pounds. This super light one, let's get it pulled out here real quick. So yeah, look at this thing. It's much smaller too, which is going to be kind kind of nice. Look at the size difference. Well, so weighing this guy, yeah, 5 pounds. So we're cutting half the weight right there in just the caliper. But I'll get everything pulled out, fitted up onto the new spindle. Here is everything assembled before I put on the brakes. Everything is looking good. We've gone and torqued everything. Everything has torque stripe on it. Everything on the spindle has red Loctite on it to keep it in place under, you know, any vibrations or anything that might come from that. Everything is looking phenomenal. I am switching up a little bit on some of my routings. So speed sensor is going to route around the back side this time, where last time I had it routing around the front side and then over. And then the brake line, I got a 90 coming off, is going to drop down and come to the back side of the caliper. Routed cleanly, and it should stay away from all moving parts, have plenty of strain relief. That is another big key thing. We don't want this getting pulled on or anything like that, which could damage the brake lines. Same with the speed sensor. Also, my adapter worked out perfectly. I don't remember if I've showed that previously, but yeah, quite happy with how that came out. The car is back on all 4 tires. I need to go around and just double check ride height, but I got this string set up, a home built one from a local racer, so be able to really dial in the alignment, the toe alignment. Now I still use a part that goes onto the rim with a Longacre caster camber gauge to set that up. And I had toe plates, but I've gone over in a previous video that toe plates are good for seeing like the comparison or the total toe, but you don't know if you're actually going straight or if you're cockeyed or things like that. So this will really help, and I'll be able to kind of set up the rear if I ever need to do anything on the rear. We do have events coming up really quickly, so I've been trying to get the car ready for Muscle on the Mountain. So that's the next big event that's coming up, and that's in a week, so just barely squeezed through. I do want to do a shakedown with the car before then, so hopefully we can go do that. I need to get it fully on the ground, take it for a drive, get the brakes burnished in, check a few other things over. So let's keep going. Let's get this thing going, and we can go make that shakedown. All right, we made it out to the local event to be able to do the shakedown on the car. Got it out right out there. Ended up doing 100 miles on the car yesterday to do a kind of shakedown, and the front wheels were loosening up, which Robert Lewis, Mod Squad Garage, messaged me and said to check the brake rotors, the brake hats, to make sure that there's not a shoulder on the longer studs that could be keeping the rotor from seating fully. And yeah, that was the case. So got here early, did all that, got drills down here. Luckily, this paddock has power, so I was able to easily do that. But yeah, so a little sweaty already for 8:30 in the morning. But we're all done. It's seated, it's aligned, or I had to move the calipers a little bit to get everything aligned, so everything is proper now. So let's get to some shakedown. We will see what this front suspension can do and what these the brakes are all about. I haven't ran these brakes yet. I haven't ran the suspension yet. We'll see. I think it's going to be pretty good. I mean, everything is similar to what I had. Should just be better in pretty much every way. So looking forward to it. Hopefully nothing breaks. I'm a little worried about the sway bar end links because they are just like 2 rod ends. But that's why we're doing testing. That's why we're doing this shakedown, to try to work out any bugs that we can before Muscle on the Mountain. And it is quite hot out here. It's supposed to be like 90 degrees today. Luckily the humidity isn't too high, but I am sweating. That's why we need to get AC into this car. 453. I did have a screw up where I forgot that it was like double coated. Not looking far enough ahead. Needed to be doing that. But yeah, that's a good time. We'll see how it stacks up today. There's a couple cars running in CAM-T. We'll have some good competition. Coming through right now is a Dodge van. The thing's crazy running the CAM-T. Don't know what year that thing is or what's really done to it, but it's wicked seeing a big like cargo van running around. Sweet stuff. Love CAM-T. Yo, this thing is gripped up. It is gripping and ripping. So going for another run. Going to try to push it a little bit more to try to see what you know, what is possible with the suspension. That's what today is for. It's just to push it, see what the limits are. So I'm going to try to do that. This course is actually pretty good for what I want to do because there's a lot of turning, a lot of wiggles and slaloms and that type of thing. So this is going to be, and it's fast. So this is a really good actually test course for what I want to do. So I'm really happy with that. Again, but I'm showing that it was faster, so that's good enough for me. All right, we're good. I am quite impressed with how the car is handling. It is better. It is remarkably better. So yeah, I'm freaking stoked right now, guys. We've installed the spindle, we've tested the spindle out, and all I can say is wow, the car is phenomenal. It went wherever I wanted it to go. It was easy to drive. It was phenomenal. So we did 4 runs today. I ended up doing 5 runs. Of those 5, only 2 of them actually had time, so I actually had more reruns that I didn't even end up taking just because, yeah, I already had 5 runs on the car, didn't need to do any more, and with just those 2 runs I finished first in class, first in packs, and second raw behind a cart. So I was also the fastest car. So really stoked with all this. So we're heading to UMI's Muscle on the Mountain with a very well running, sorted, I think, car. So I'm excited to see how we go up there. So thank you guys for watching this one. Stay tuned for the UMI Muscle on the Mountain, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.